Our title partner, DP World, is the leading provider of smart logistics solutions. Whether it is across the supply chain or at the crease, high performance is all about being smart. Particularly in T20, we can relate to the need for optimal efficiency. So what does it mean to be smart in cricket? What are the things we look at to unlock potential and change what's possible? Let's talk about it.
So guys, DP World are experts in moving cargo all over the world. And of course, you've both travelled far and wide playing top level cricket. So how do you go about travel to make sure you are fresh and ready to go for matches?
So probably cargo for cricketers is the kit bag, probably the most important part. Pack it very meticulously, have all my gear there, consider myself a bowling all-rounder to have a batting shoes in there as well. So it's just about that, and carrying everything with me in the travel bag, my jersey and everything. So that's how it is.
Yeah, and for me, I feel like nowadays travel has been made so much easier for us cricketers. So you just send your bags in, travel with a small luggage bag, get onto the plane, business class obviously, get a lot of sleep, and it's just, especially with me being one of the senior older players, sleep is very important. So I just try and relax to be fresh for our matches.
So guys, what is the most precious cargo that you take with you whilst you're traveling for a cricket tour?
Well, I think obviously first and foremost it would be cricket gear. It's kind of pretty important, but for me it's also off-field as well. I like now to take my PlayStation with me, as well as a number of books as well. So to try and make sure that I'm balancing sort of life away from the cricket field.
So guys, smart play begins long before the first ball. So what does preparation look like for you on a match day?
Oh, you can go first for this one if you like.
Okay. I have a set routine for the match day. So it begins with the priming session that I do before getting in for the match, probably 3 to 4 hours earlier than we have. I mean, as a team, we all get together and have a performance analyst taking us through the videos. So that's really important for us. And then get onto the ground and get your prep done. I mean, bowl the number of balls that you want to, and just make sure that the opposition is looking at us and watching us prepare really well. So half the battle won there. So data and technology have moved almost every industry forward in recent years, including logistics. How big a role does data play in your cricket, from general fitness tracking to performance tactics?
Yeah, I feel like probably 15 years when we started playing, you would just train and bowl for hours and hours on any surface and just kept on going. Where nowadays, luckily I'm one of the older ones now that the tracking stuff came in. So I feel like we are managed a lot better than what we were years ago. So it's obviously a massive help, especially in guiding players, players coming back after injury, players who was at a very high workload, just to manage them as well, to make sure they don't break down. So I feel like technology-wise, even in sport, the game has taken a massive step. So it's not just technology that has changed the game, as T20 is a relatively new format that has taken sport to a next level. What does it take to be a smart performer in T20 cricket?
Yeah, I think like obviously T20 cricket is so fast-paced, high pressure, lot of lights, a lot of cameras, a lot of eyeballs sort of on it. So I think it's so easy to get caught up in the moment, and I think there comes a time where you have to just really take a step back and remove yourself from what's happening. And I think for T20 cricket particularly, that it's a lot of the time things are never as bad as they probably feel, and there's so much perceived pressure or scoreboard pressure, and everybody's so fanatical about that format. So I think to be a smart performer, yeah, you just have to be able to be quite mentally strong, I think, as well. I think particularly as bowlers, we sort of need to try and you take the ego out of it sometimes. There's not too many bowler-friendly tracks around the world in T20 cricket. So yeah, I think there's a lot for people to learn from that respect. So DP World make global trade flow. How do you get into the flow state when you're out there batting, chasing a big score?
Well, funny enough, what usually works for me is I try and focus on the other batter and try and help that other batter, because usually where I come in a cricket match, a lot of times I bat with the lower order or bowlers. So I've found the last couple of years when I can almost focus on my partner at the other end and help them through it, because I know usually they are the ones that are struggling, because like I said, it's lower order or tail enders. So for some reason, if I change my focus to helping them, everything that I want to do gets a bit clearer. So I just try and take it as deep as possible, stay calm, back whatever my skills are and where I am strong, and more often than not the last couple of months it's been coming off.
Whether it's bowling in a match or ensuring trade flows smoothly across the globe, it's all about smart partnerships. What makes for a good partner out on the cricket field?
Probably will take this question towards the bowling bit. We both are power play bowlers, and we've had a very good partnership, and we trust each other a lot. Every time we take a wicket, it's not that we're celebrating, we're literally going across to each other and just letting them know what's working and what isn't. So that way I've had a really great partnership with 𝐂𝐊𝐶 on the field, and it's smart partnership for me is about trusting your partner, understanding what they are doing, and then trying to adapt and go along with the advice that they are giving.
Yeah, and I just think, just to add on that, I feel like if you look at the two of us, we are completely opposite. I swing the ball out, try and hit that hard back of a length, where she goes just that little bit fuller and swings the ball back in. So a lot of times we've seen in these leagues, you'll have a batter that struggles with either in swing or out swing. So if I'm not the direct matchup on the day, I know 𝐂𝐶𝐀 will be. So that's also one thing that stands out for me.
This team is a blend of players from all over the world. How do the perspectives of players from so many countries and cultures combine on and off the field?
Well, I think for me personally, it's sort of perspectives from other nations' setups and whatnot, and it's sort of identifying that a lot of players go through a lot of similar things regardless of what country you play for or whatnot. But I think the biggest thing for me as well is obviously being so fortunate growing up in a country like Australia, and sort of almost a land of opportunity in a way, and just sort of I've always liked to try and learn a little bit more about other cultures and people from other countries and teams and whatnot, and sort of what they've had to overcome. And I think for me, that's always given me great perspective about where I've come from and the pathway that I've sort of had in comparison to a lot of others. And I mean, our DC family, we're all quite close, which is really cool, and we all get along and all want each other to be really successful. And I know there's been times and teams that, whether it's any of us have been a part of or other people within our team, that haven't necessarily felt that level of love and support. So I think any opportunity we get to jump on it, we're all for it. So the league is only in its second year, yet it is going from strength to strength. What is your perspective on the growth of the women's game?
Well, again, I'm going to speak about years ago compared to now. As you guys have also been playing for such a long time. I remember when women's cricket started, I didn't even know there was international cricket for women. So now I've spent the last 15 years in international cricket and in cricket as a female player, where we started and where it is now. I would have never thought 15 years later I was going to sit here at a women's IPL with the DC family. It's been so amazing to watch how, not how weak, but how the women's game started. If you have to compare skills and the talent from 15 years ago to now, I mean, you see these youngsters coming in, playing like they've been on the international stage for the last 10 years. So it's just amazing to see not only the talents, the crowds we've been having here over in India. And then, yeah, like I said, never in my wildest dreams that I think I was going to sit here being part of the first ever Women's Premier League.
So, as we've just discussed, Like DP World's smart approach to logistics, there's plenty that goes into being smart on the cricket field and giving yourself the best chance of success. Hopefully, we'll see plenty more smart performances from this side.